Look, I know we're supposed to start the show with this Connor Cook slander 2.0. Rico, I got to take care of something. Got to do it to you. Sorry. I have a theory. Need you guys to call me a shameless bleep hole and an idiot and tell me I don't know anything about sports.
Mike, you're a shameless bleep hole, an idiot, and you know nothing about sports.
Well, then just wait for the opinion.
Oh,
I think there's something going on with Russell Wilson. This is very interesting to me now that it is days long where, look, he was on his goodwill tour for being the Walter Payton Man of the Year. You know, the look at me, I'm such a good guy tour. And on that tour, he kind of knocked the organization, talked about how he's sick of getting hit. It was bizarre. He was asked about, are you on the trade block? He's like, that's a Seahawks question. I don't know, ask them. Really weird dude. And you know what's happened in the 72 hours since? Nothing. Russell Wilson hadn't said a word. Reports of Seattle not being happy with those public remarks have surfaced, but a statement hasn't. Press release hasn't. Russell Wilson saying, guys, you're taking what I'm saying out of context. I'm happy to be a Seahawk. I love it here, and yada, yada. The team hasn't come out. John Schneider hasn't come out, their general manager, and said, guys, let's just put this to bed. We're going to do everything in our power to make Russ happy, keep Russ here for a career. Hasn't said it. Hasn't done it. It's Friday. And it's got me wondering. For all the talk about Deshaun Watson, for all the talk that was Matthew Stafford, for the talk about Carson Wentz, the QB carousel, is there anything to what I'm selling? Is Russell Wilson available? Because, man, if I had no intent on trading him, I would have said something by now. And if I had no intent on being traded, I would have said something by now. Neither side has said so much as boo, which has me thinking. You can call me any names you like. You can say this is sports radio garbage. Do whatever you want. Deny what I'm saying. He's on a goodwill tour, knocks the team, knocks his teammates. Russell Wilson hasn't so much as said nothing about nothing in his time in Seattle. The team is pissed. Neither side talking. Neither side quelling the flames. As O.J. Simpson would say, I'm just saying, tell me I'm crazy here.
I'm just saying.
That's how I feel about this. I'm not telling you he has a for sale sign around his neck. Eat it Joe's sandwich board saying someone trade for me. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying the team's going to liquidate him. But if you didn't have any intent on trading the man, or it was somehow ridiculous, the speculation that is bubbling, you'd put an end to it. And if you're Russell Wilson and you were happy, you don't knock people on a goodwill tour, and you'd come out, because you're Mr. Social Media, hey, Seattle, we got a deal. And then you'd get out and do something. And you'd be like, you guys are idiots. I was just saying, I'm getting tired of getting popped to the ground. We're going to fix it. Straight up, 248-539-9797. I needed this to start the show.
Well, that was a hot take here on 97.1, the sports animal. What do you guys feel about that?
No,
I'm kidding.
Do you want to gatekeeper this?
No, I'm kidding, Mike.
Do you want to put on your little outfit?
No, Mike.
It is Valentine's Day. You dressing as Heimdall for your lady? What's the story?
Hey, now.
Bringing out that hammer.
Oh, no, it's a sword, but okay.
Whoa. Oh, come on, man.
Here's what I have to say. It's interesting if you start playing connect the dots. Because going back to the Super Bowl, one of the things we said that Monday, I wonder what he and Raj and Sierra were talking about. What do you talk about in the box? And maybe it was, I'm thinking about moving to another city. We've all said that there's a certain way to win, and Seattle used that way to win a Super Bowl and to get one play away from winning their second one. The wheels have come off. they're closer to being a bottom feeder than they are to being another Super Bowl champion. It's getting worse and worse for the Seahawks. And you're Russell Wilson, you know that. It may be time to go. Plus, here's another thing, Mike, that I don't think you're, as a matter of fact, I think you're spot on. You're in Seattle. You're married to a singer. I got to think she's not happy in Seattle. I mean, nothing against the fine city of Seattle, but it's not, Miami.
It's not New York, dude.
It's not right. It's not New York. It's not L.A. Stafford took the L.A. job. Herbert has the other one, but it's not one of those places. It ain't Las Vegas. It's not a sizzling place. It's Seattle. So maybe that clues in. And the fact that you then go out and you very passive-aggressively throw your team under the bus. You don't say enough that you can't bring it back, but you say enough that guys are saying, really? Hey, did you hear what Russ just said about us? Wow. He's developing an exit plan. How quickly this happens, and I think the Seahawks see the handwriting on the wall. Do we want to put up with this all year long, or let's do some back channeling ourselves? Let's see. What's Russell Wilson? Can we get a Stafford type deal for Russell Wilson? Because, yeah, if Stafford can get that type of a haul, you should be able to get at the bare minimum is 2 number 1 picks. If you're Seattle, you get to start all over again. You get to tear that thing down and build it back up to see if you can do it again. If you're Wilson, you get to go and play for another Super Bowl, because the fact that he played in Super Bowls early in his career, it probably stings that as he's watching his team get worse and worse each season, knowing what it feels like to hoist that trophy. Looking at Patrick Mahomes saying, that was me 6-7 years ago. I was the it quarterback, and now look at me. I'm stuck with this dog crap team. I think you're spot on. You nailed it, Mike.
It's just, I can't, you know what it was, Rico, is I've been thinking about it the last couple of days, but you don't bring everything to the air you're thinking about. This was just something where I went, by the end of the week, somebody's got to come out and say something. And the only thing that's happening is team's pissed, Russ is silent, and this quarterback carousel is like nothing we've ever seen.
And
Matthew Stafford's already been dealt. Mm-hmm. You're going to see Deshaun Watson dealt. I still believe that. Carson Wentz will absolutely be dealt. Jared Goff was dealt. It's a real carousel. And look, Russ's cap hit the next 3 years, 32, 37, and 39 million. Mm-hmm. They ain't building some great team around him with that number.
No, but it also goes to the fact of what I talked about yesterday when people were like, well, why aren't the Indianapolis Colts making a move? Because they're being patient right now. Let's see all the options out there. Because what if they jumped and took Carson Wentz and then you find out a week later, we could have had Russell Wilson? Why don't we just wait to see where everybody's going? Let's look at everything. Let's kick all the tires, and then we'll go after the best QB. That's what Indy is doing. That's why I said Indianapolis will wait this thing out till draft day if they have to. But I think they're going to be smart about it.
Just had to throw it out there. Just the idea that Russell Wilson, to me, is untouchable. And maybe, I'm not saying he will be traded. Certainly not. There's financial ramifications to it. But the idea that maybe is Seattle really willing to listen to a phone call? You know, you've always heard those under-the-radar rumors about Russ and Seattle, and it's not as copacetic as you think. Mm-hmm. Then he gets the deal done. Team continues to erode around him. Russell Wilson actually goes public and says something negative. Team not happy. You'd probably want to nip that in the bud unless there's something here. And again, Wilson's got a no-trade clause. He's just like Deshaun Watson. Wilson's deal is huge, and I'm sure would leave a mass amount of dead money for this year. But I had to ask and see if I would be allowed to believe this.
No, and I think you need to take into account, and I'm not saying she's the driving force, but the fact that his wife is in the music business, and Seattle, it's probably not the mecca of where you want to be. She's probably flying back and forth to actually go to work and then coming back home to the wife, to play wife and, mother to the kids.
So you're saying Grant Hill theory.
Yeah.
Where Grant Hill left Detroit because it was easier for his wife, the recording artist in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that just added. I think he's ready to leave, but I think that also helps. Like, babe, we're here in Seattle.
Then you know what I would tell you? Here's what I would tell Russell Wilson then. And maybe this is the fan in me. But we just talked about that contract. Then do me a favor. Restructure your deal. Just restructure your deal, man. I mean, Tom Brady did it to keep the Patriots together. Mike Evans has just come out and said, here, do what you got to do with my contract. I want to keep this team together. If you're Russell Wilson, you'll still get paid. You'll still get every pound and every penny, but restructure it. Do something that's palatable for the team, gives you a little bit more security, and they can put better people around you. And guess what? You'll pull the strings on the players they get. Here, this is what I specifically want. Do it or I make it messy.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But I that's not the way of the athlete right now, Mike.
Okay.
I mean, Tom Brady did it. Mike Jordan did it. Like, only a handful of guys realize this is so good. I'll make my money later. I don't have to. I got enough right now. I'll make more when we're done. But give me enough that we can re-sign everybody else and keep this thing in place. But you don't see that nowadays because you can say every quarterback that's out there and can say, hey, Stafford could have restructured his deal to make sure that we take care of this and we can bring in free agents. You could say that about every QB, but no, instead they took the money. And we're going to be talking about a few years down the line. Patrick Mahomes, what are the Chiefs going to do? You're going to pay him a ridiculous amount of money. Do you move him? What do you do? Why? Because he signed the contract to say, pay me $250 million.